Hello and welcome back to Jabbermouths. I am JD.
I am regular-headed Ethan.
And I'm the ghost of Barrett, beware!
Could you please be the ghost of Barrett Past?
The ghost of Barrett No, here's what happens. Then later on in the podcast, I'm going to show up with a laser light show and a silver suit like, I am the ghost of Barrett Future.
Can it be you, though, too? Because I've known you long enough that I can have Ghost of Barrett Past be you with really long hair.
Yeah,
And Ghost of Barrett Present you with blonde hair. And Ghost of Barrett Future is where you are now
hair?
with the beanie.
Oh.
He did that actually at one point. He did
Yeah.
cut his hair super, super short. Did we tell you about that?
I think so. I don't know why we're bagging on Barrett.
I'm not bad. It's not a bad thing.
It's a great
We're talking about his different hairstyles that he's
I
had.
go hard. I don't just do, the same shit. Speaking of heads, of hair on your head, we watched Coneheads. That's a great segue.
We
Yeah,
found it
that
on
was good.
Netflix.
Yes, it was founded on Netflix. So, and you have
Until, what, the 31st?
until the 31st of December. This will probably
Oh, no, it goes
air-
to Peacock.
It's going to
Because
Peacock?
it's from SNL.
Yeah, but Peacock's not. Peacock is free, isn't it?
Yeah, Peacock
Yeah.
is free.
Okay, so if you guys have Netflix, you can watch it till the end of December 31st, 2020, and then go watch it for
transition to
free
Peacock.
on Peacock and watch some ads and deal with ads. But at least you can see
Honestly,
it for free.
the ads are...
Not bad. Like, Peacock's fucking genius, by the way. Peacock is so genius to do it that way instead of, CBS All Access.
Oh my god, CBS. I
And
just
Stars.
hate them.
Nobody likes you. Oh, Stars could off like 5 years
The
ago.
majority, because what's happened for us, for you, those of you, so Stars, they're just like another streaming service for like a bunch of movies. The problem is they keep buying the rights to movies and then not letting you rent them. So then,
On
like, every time it's like,
anything,
hey,
right.
movie night, time to rent something. No, you want to watch Call Me By Your Name? Sorry, you have to buy it from Stars.
Yeah, it's stupid because we get our hopes up because we'll Google it every time we're like, oh, what streaming service is this movie on that we really like? And we'll see a streaming service that we know, like Hulu. But under that, it'll say premium subscription. And we'll immediately go, it's fucking Stars, isn't it? It's fucking
It's always
Stars.
fucking
It's
Stars.
always
And
Stars.
sure enough, we look it up on like Hulu and it's like, no, go fuck yourself. There's just Stars with a middle finger emoji next to it because they know we're not going to do it. It's not worth it. But yeah, Coneheads came out in 1993. Barrett made sure I knew that was the same year as Jurassic Park because all of the CGI or however they did the non-practical effects is really bad.
It's really bad.
It's really bad. Do you think they did
It
that?
reminds me of Star Wars. Like
Yeah,
the-
but
the
Star Wars
creatures.
was like 25 years
Yeah, exactly.
before this.
That's the problem,
True, with
right?
the claymation monster, yeah.
Yeah. Not 25 years. It was like, what was it, like 70,
Wasn't it
77.
77? So it's like 15 years?
16?
15,
Yeah.
16 years?
Yeah.
Still.
No,
the fuck?
17.
Thank you, Matt. No, that's 16, my guy.
Oh, yeah.
77?
You're right. Yeah.
I was
Okay.
about to give you shit for
Look,
math, and then I
I'm
did
bad
the math.
at math. I'm bad at math. We know this.
But yeah,
Directed by the same dude who directed
Steve
the Ninja
Barron.
Turtles
yeah,
movie.
Steve Barron, who we found
Ninja
out did
Turtles.
the first live-action Ninja Turtles. Fuck.
We're
We will
never
never
gonna
escape
it.
the Ninja
Yeah.
Turtles. It's going to come up every single podcast.
But okay, it's happened, and now we can move on.
Cowabunga.
We've had our one Ninja Turtle bit. It was 15 seconds long. I'll bleep the first minute. How do I want to? Oh, you know what? They make weird noises, right?
They just
The
scream.
Conehead people.
Oh, God.
So
So
for
for
the-
fucking ears.
So I apologize to any people who listen to this. I'm totally going to take that first minute and a half bleep like we normally do, and it's going to be the screeches from the Coneheads. You
Wait,
get to
because every
deal
time like,
with
they freak out, they always go, yeah. And it's like, and then like the sound editor's like, let's crank that shit.
Well, it's like 40 different emotions. It's like when you're super happy, they make the screech. When they're excited, they make the screech. When they're exasperated, they screech. I don't. It's weird.
They
Well, it's
don't.
just- all I can think is, okay, like, were people like, was this actually funny to people in the 90s? I'm like, haha, wow, funny.
Yeah, I don't know.
Aliens describing our world like.
It feels exactly like my dad. Like the humor.
Whoa.
Let's go
time
on.
out,
Tell us
time
about
out,
your
time
father,
out.
Conehead.
Why
No.
is your dad a Conehead? Yeah.
No, just the the very fatherly like
We're gonna talk about that in a second. Barrett just started.
Fuck off.
I want Ethan to finish this thing, but Barrett had to like cover his mouth to keep from laughing because
It's
he
a
thought
very-
of something.
the entire like Conehead thing, like we're saying everything very, very straight, level-headed. Like there's no metaphors or anything like that.
Yeah.
Is very dad humor-esque.
A little
right?
bit, a little bit. They
Like-
like say everything extremely literally. Like
Right.
they describe every little thing when they say, and that's how they say that they're aliens, right? They don't understand, so they have to
Right.
say it very analytically, in order to understand the way we're talking about it. Yeah, I can see where you're.
Like it's
Where you're coming
very
from.
dad humor-esque.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
So why were you cracking up?
What was that?
Oh, I was just, I thought of a bit that they couldn't include in the movie. It's the idea that they go for ghosts it's Halloween, but because of the points of their heads, they
look
still
like
end up at a
KKK.
KK rally.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty
I'm
good.
not gonna say anything
love-
about that.
Speaking of costumes, I love that there's a part where they go to a Halloween party and one of the Aykroyd's character, Dan Aykroyd's the main character, and he dresses
Walrus or
as
whatever his
Lincoln. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what his fuck. He's some blue blar.
Beldar.
Beldar. Okay.
Beldar.
You're a Beldar.
Yeah, right. Like I feel like they just put two syllables together and said, "Oh, that makes it alien, right?"
Isn't that just what names are though?
Bruh.
Shut up.
Has to be that joint, Ethan. Let's talk.
But he dresses as Abe Lincoln, and I'm pretty sure his wife dresses as Lipstick, but Barrett thought it looked like a bullet.
The bullet.
And I really, once he said that, I hoped, I'm sure it was Lipstick, but I really hoped it was a bullet, because that actually is fucking hilarious. That if they decided to go as Lincoln and the bullet that went through his skull.
Do you want to do that for Halloween? But I'll be JFK. You can be the bullet. Come on.
Oh my god, I'm
Let's
down.
have some fun with this.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm totally down for that.
Oh, you got another 10 months. Sorry.
Yeah,
man.
we
You,
got
you got a
forever
while
to
to plan it.
We
though.
kind of like took a pass this Halloween.
I think
You know.
the
Everyone
world
took
should
a
have taken-
pass.
A lot of
They
people
should have, that they
didn't.
didn't. Yeah, I was gonna say all of our
Bastards.
feeds were blowing up with parties and shit.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, work was crazy.
Right? There you go.
I mean, work was crazy on Thanksgiving too. So
Yeah, what is can we talk about that for a second, California? What the fuck is with you guys and going to Starbucks on Thanksgiving? We're from Colorado. That's not a thing that exists. On Thanksgiving you stay the fuck home. Or
Yeah.
you go to see other family members.
And also, what the fuck? Like, ding dong, hi, I brought my family Starbucks? Wow. Really?
What a there I don't think
Really?
there is not a better way to tell the rest of your family that you did not give a shit about anybody
Go to Starbucks?
else.
Yeah.
Bringing a bunch of Starbucks drinks.
Right?
I-
Like two scenarios, right? The first one is somebody shows up with mashed potatoes that was clearly like instant mashed potato. Like it's still in the plastic
you had
tray.
to do work for that though.
Right, like
you still
it's
gotta put the
but think
water
about that
in.
though, right? Like they didn't even put it in a different tray though. Like it's in the plastic ass fucking tray, like fresh out of the microwave, is what they show up with.
Oh, not
or
the like powdered stuff.
no,
Okay.
right? That or somebody shows up with 4 or 5 Starbucks drinks and says Happy Thanksgiving.
No, they don't even show up with the drinks. They just show up with a tray of cranberry bliss bars.
Right, like that, like I don't know. I wouldn't want them to come to Thanksgiving the next year. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'd be like, you go fuck.
You know who I don't want to come to Thanksgiving next year?
Who?
The Coneheads.
Why?
I don't know. I feel like they'd screech my ears off.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
I feel like they'd also bring a lot of food though.
See-
because do you see how much food? Like for every
That's
meal,
true.
they had
They're gonna
so
bring
much
toilet
food.
Oh,
paper.
They
man.
can eat it. If they were eating waffles and shit later, they figured it out.
And chewing
It's just-
condoms. that
Shut up.
was like the one good physical gag. I'm like, all right, that was good.
That was that. Okay, I'll give
Well,
you
but
that.
there's
There was
the-
actually some good jokes in here. But please, Ethan, I mean
The Netflix description is like, I don't. Yeah.
Oh, here you go.
An odd alien family with cone-shaped heads, robot-like walks, and an appetite for toilet paper tries to blend into a New Jersey neighborhood. And I don't see them ever trying to blend in the entire movie.
I don't
That's
know. There's
true.
this whole scene where they fucking get all of their teeth filed down.
Well, yeah.
No cap.
No, capped.
Capped.
Because
Okay.
they're already
Expanding
filed
them.
down.
Well, I meant like
No, they-
straightened, but they didn't do that. They capped
Yeah.
them to
But,
make them.
like-
yeah. Okay. But they get like, and that I don't know. That's a segue. Well, let's finish this thought and then I'll
I
segue
just-
into it.
I don't get the plot of this movie.
The plot, it's because it's an SNL skit. They just said, as Barrett put it really well, right?
The audacity in the
SNL.
90s for SNL, where it's like, hey guys, look at this great little 5-minute sketch. And you know what? They did strike gold with Blues Brothers and Wayne's World. It's like, whoa, this is
Brothers,
great.
Wayne's World. There was one other one, wasn't there?
But there are others that just absolutely shit the bed.
Why can't I remember them now? We talked about it for like 20 minutes.
Can we get
And
the
this is
Chad
one of-
movie?
This is
I
one
want
of the
Chad
medium
movie.
ones.
I don't want the Chad
But
movie, dude.
The
Did
Chad
you see
movie
the last
starred
one?
Pete Davidson.
Yeah.
Okay. But
The end.
But well, yeah, because then the other two. So like, I'd say this is like the middle ground one of like, this is just forgettable. Where it's like, oh, Coneheads, yeah, they did that. But then you have the two that go down in infamy of like have been completely buried, and that's It's Pat the Movie and Steve Saves His Family. I've never heard of them, and apparently after looking at their
obviously.
ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, SNL wants to make sure you've never heard of them.
That's a point. That's about... Oh, Hot Rod. Hot Rod is technically an SNL movie.
The argument could be it's a Lonely Island movie.
SNL's the one who funded it, is what I'm
Ah,
saying. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. At least that's what it...
That's what
When you
Google
search
says.
SNL movies,
We
that's
all know to
Hot
trust
Rod
Google.
comes up. I mean... They make us hate Stars when we see HBO or Hulu
No,
premium subscription.
Stars does that to itself.
That's true.
But yeah, there was just...
I don't know. I mean, like, some of the comedy landed. None of the heartfelt stuff really landed. I will always love, Fat... What's his fucking name? Fat guy. Who is...
Chris Farley.
I always love Chris
You're
Farley,
welcome.
but he's kind of a rapist in this.
Wait, because he tries to force himself on the
Oh,
daughter.
I'm gonna have to
the daughter.
bleep. I'm gonna have to bleep that word, aren't I?
Yeah, you should probably...
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What time was that?
No, I don't care. I'll find it.
11:50-ish.
Don't worry, we'll let you know when the word comes up.
Stop saying it. I'm gonna have to keep bleeping it.
But yeah, that was a really creepy scene. Where he's kissing her neck very forcefully. She's like,
He's
I'm
kissing
not
the
ready.
daughter. Let's
the
clarify
daughter's
that.
neck
It's the
very
daughter's
forcefully
neck.
in the car. And she's like,
Well,
no.
he's kissing
I'm-"
the cone.
Yeah. He's kissing
Yes.
he's getting really into the cone.
He
And-
was, yeah,
like
like...
tonguing it.
Hey,
and
you know.
Then the daughter's like, no, get off of me. And she rightfully storms out because he violated her boundaries, you know? And
Right.
then later on, like, in the scene, like, he wins her back. She's like, no, I'm sorry. It's like, no, you have absolutely... You do not apologize, honey.
Yeah,
You
like,
do
she's
not.
kind of an idiot. Like, don't get me wrong. She knew to say no and stop it from happening, but she's kind of an idiot about the situation, like, directly after that. Because Dad Conehead, right, goes out and tells him, yes, tells Chris Farley to fuck off and, like, rips his car in half, kind of, right? Like rips the car
poor
open
car.
and says, it was a nice
Yeah, it's a nice car.
Camaro, yeah.
Yeah.
And says, no, get the fuck out of here. And leaves, right? He goes back inside, and the first thing she says is, "You're ruining my life, Dad."
Yeah, that 180.
I was like, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
She's
This
a
girl tried
teenager
to-
in the 90s.
But this guy just tried to sexually assault her.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
the
I
90s.
don't-
That's okay, JD.
That should never be taken out of
No,
context.
it should not.
If
Please
I-
don't.
The one thing I
Oh,
could
my
say
Lord.
while watching this is all I wanted to do was watch Third Rock from the Sun, which is like an exact it's a sitcom, similar premise. 4 aliens disguise themselves as an Earth family, but instead I think they're in Ohio.
Right.
I think
Yeah,
I
stay
think they're
away
in
from
Cleveland.
Ohio.
And
That is
it's God, it
Superior.
was so good. I actually, because of this, I actually want to go back and rewatch Third Rock from the Sun. It's on Amazon Prime, and just remember that. Like, I want to go back to the good stuff, the subtle stuff.
I can understand that. I mean, and like I said, some of this stuff lands. Like, some of the
Some
jokes
stuff
are
lands.
actually pretty funny.
But it is that apparent nature of this. There's a reason this should only be 5 minutes long.
I
Yeah.
agree with that, and I'm going to propose something just for the sake of devil's advocacy, if you will. I feel like adults, like I guess we kind of are adults, boomers. Let me be specific.
Yeah.
Business is
Again,
I think boomers would fucking love it. Like, I think my parents, I know my parents absolutely adore Coneheads. They
Right.
really do. And I think that's where the disconnect is, you know, because like this
This is
idea
totally
of life.
unobtainable.
Well, not that it's unobtainable, but it's like this idea of life is not an idea of life that I feel like we idealize anymore. You know,
No,
find a job. Okay, do you like it? Doesn't matter. It pays the bills. Okay, get
Find
a
a
wife.
wife. Do you like her? No, but she gives you the kids.
Exactly. Have a kid. Does she like you? Doesn't matter because she's your kid.
Doesn't matter because it's the child.
watch the kid get a boyfriend. Do you like him? Of course you don't, but he's gonna try to assault the daughter, and she's gonna love him anyway. Move
God. Well, yeah.
Well, that's what happened.
It is very 90s.
I don't know. They spend a lot of time trying to redeem Chris Farley's character though after that moment, and I don't think that they do it very well, but they try.
He apologizes first
to the dad,
which is
right?
dumb.
On the golf course.
Yeah, I wish, and because it's a dumb comedy, I kind of wish they devoted more time to him like sneaking into the country club and like bribing his way into being a caddy.
Yeah.
Just to talk to Dan Aykroyd. I think that would have been more interesting.
The payoff is a stupid joke about his head, which nobody else cares about.
Right, the payoff is
What's going on with your head?
Right, just some other random dumb fuck. I don't even know who that dude was.
He was only in that scene.
Right, like was he supposed to be Chris Farley's dad? Was he supposed to be, like, who was he? You know? Just some random other golfer with no relevance. There's a couple shots like that are just weird cuts for no reason because they had no real way to... It feels like when writing it, they didn't really know how to transition to the next thing, so they just said,
cut.
We'll just cut it.
There were a few fades where it's just like, and fade out. Come back. Okay, sure. Why'd we do that?
We ended that scene.
Hey, Sinbad. Well, you've been here for 5 minutes. Get out.
Yeah, that was actually made me so happy to see Sinbad.
But Sinbad is there for the birth of the kid.
Right, so there's this whole subplot of Border Patrol, which has one actor that I'm sure was relevant at some point, but none of us know. And then David Spade, right? And they're trying to chase down the Coneheads, and they almost catch him once while he was working for Sinbad. But then Sinbad is still in their life after they escape it the first time,
along with the taxi dude.
Yeah,
who got forcibly arrested. I mean, whenever you're getting arrested, it's forcibly.
I was gonna say that.
He got arrested.
Yeah, he got arrested. Why did he get arrested and Sinbad didn't? I'm kind of curious about that.
Well, I assume...
I don't think it's a race thing at all. I think it's just really shitty police work is all I'm just saying.
I mean, that's kind of the point. They spent $500,000 or whatever it was.
Okay, come on now. We got to keep these books tight. They spent $250,000.
At that point...
You're right.
How many people did they use when the alien spaceship came down?
To their credit, though, they were right about there being aliens from another planet.
And What's-His-Face is just totally okay with being the... court jester for...
Gesture?
Fuck off.
The court gesture.
Fuck off.
Gesture.
Yeah, it is a big just middle finger, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was that, like, they intended on sacrificing him.
That's true.
So if it's that, or be new bitch to somebody else.
Did they sacrifice old bitch?
No, he got out.
He came home, remember?
No. Court gesture dude.
No, I mean, I think he, like, weaseled
took
his way...
over the job of somebody else.
Oh, maybe.
Did they sacrifice him?
I don't know. Well, did they have another one of those fucking beast things that they were sacrificing people to? Yeah.
Not Rancor.
Another not Rancor. I was about to say the same thing.
Who gets golfed?
He does get golfed to death. Because golf is the epitome of white people America sports, apparently.
You know what else is the epitome of white people America?
Bowling.
They scream when they see...
They scream when they see stuff they don't like.
They scream when they see the pins because it reminds them of their heads.
Oh man, there's just... Like I said, the more I talk about this, the more I think about... Okay, here are a lot of other things I'd rather watch instead.
Yeah. There was, to go all the way back to when I said I was going to segue, I want to talk about it or I'm going to forget. There are multiple moments in this movie that are just extremely unsettling because of the anatomy of the aliens. I don't know why it couldn't just be comical and be a joke, but for some reason they just have like really fucked up anatomy that they have to like show
very Conehead in very the pregnancy.
Well, that or like very Tim Burton-esque
like the
fucking
teeth
thing
scene
when they open his mouth at the dentist and he has like 3 rows of teeth and his like jaw comes down to his titties. It's fucking spooky, dude. Like that shit. If you showed that to like a 12-year-old with no context, that's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying.
I don't like the idea.
I feel like the alternate title I would give this film is A Day in the Life of Dan Aykroyd. For those of you who don't know, Dan Aykroyd is a crazy person.
Boom. Aykroyd roasted. Certified crazy person.
Certified crazy person with a Crystal Skull vodka, and just like the ad for it just starts with a weird rant of there's a hidden world that millions of people believe in. I'm sorry, what?
It's
about the vodka
or whatever it is.
Yeah. Side note: the vodka is actually really good.
It is very good vodka.
It's good vodka, but that
The
doesn't.
Crystal Skull.
Right.
The skull, very important in ancient cultures that believed in the occult.
Aykroyd roasted.
This is real. Kids,
Yeah.
he said this.
Yeah, when he advertises it, he spends like 5 minutes just talking about ghosts and aliens and how those
And
exist.
I've trapped them all in this Crystal Skull bottle for you to drink.
Well, I love the. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna bring it back to Coneheads. Right, you were joking around that this is a documentary.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd believes
Dan
it's a
Aykroyd.
documentary.
This is just him on set.
Yeah.
It's just-
Talking about what it really is
the
like
script,
to be an alien.
The script was, he actually said, like, no, the Remulac is real. It is a real planet.
It's a real plan.
Here is a script I've written about it.
I bet-
Okay, Dan.
Aykroyd roasted.
And you
I bet,
see...
you know what's great? I'm sure like his agent sent the script to him. He's like, all right, Dan, check out this movie. It's about these aliens. Oh, okay, I gotta check it for accuracy if I'm actually gonna take this role. Yeah, I mean, what do you mean? Wait, what are you talking about?
Their mating ritual involves cones. Don't you? You have to wear these the rings
the
of pleasure
Jesus
around
roof?
your
Yeah.
around your cone.
And then touched hands. I want to know what that did to Chris Farley. When Chris
Right,
Farley
it's
like
his
has
it's
sex,
He was sweating.
he looked like he was on a
sweating.
fucking ride, dude. He looked like he
Yeah.
was on a Native American spirit
So
journey.
okay, does the kid just have like extended forehead,
What do you mean?
like Connie and
If it was a human and a conehead
Conehead
baby.
Because we never talk about the
Is it just a new
interspecies.
Neanderthal? Wait, time out. Is that where like in this mythology, where original
According to Dan
Neanderthals?
Dan Aykroyd says
It's Dan Aykroyd's specific ancestry that goes back to the Neanderthals, who he thinks were aliens.
Aykroyd roasted.
I like to imagine like on like an evolutionary chart, just in the middle of us, is Dan Aykroyd as a conehead.
It's like the salamander, and then the monkey, and then the ape, then Dan Aykroyd.
And then
No. It's the salamander, monkey, ape, Dan Aykroyd Ghostbusters, Dan Aykroyd Coneheads.
Aykroyd roasted.
Wait, when did Ghostbusters come out?
In the 80s.
When did Ghostbusters 2 come out? I'm kind of curious.
In the 80s.
Well, okay, never mind. I
All
was
I
just
know
wondering
is
if he's like on. I hope that he's on set talking to like Bill Murray and stuff like that on the set of Ghostbusters, like, and they have these really big cone
And you see, we're
heads.
actually hunting ghosts.
And they're
because
from-
those are spectral anomalies. These are real ghosts.
They will lead us back to Romulac.
The leaders went wrong. Like, follow me.
You're following me so far, and what we need to do is find these crystal skulls. I've been thinking about making vodka. How do you
Aykroyd roasted.
think?
Can
Dan, the
somebody
ghosts aren't
somebody
real.
get his
That's
medicine? Somebody get his medicine, please.
That's a man in a suit, Dan. No, it's a real spectral anomaly. No, it is not. Watch me use my... I'm gonna catch it using my magic backpack. Okay, Dan. It's time for night-night. Why don't you go night-night in your trailer?
And somebody just goes, shh, shh, shh. Just start rolling. Just start rolling. We'll get the footage, and it'll be fine. We'll pay him in... Whatever.
Pay him
We put a lot of money...
waffles and toilet paper or whatever.
Put a lot of fucking money into this movie, alright? We're gonna get something out
Can
of
we
it.
just title this episode Dunkin on Aykroyd?
It's kind of what it is.
I mean, who else am I supposed to dunk on?
There's so many weird cameos from so many people in this movie, and it's probably because it's an SNL movie that they asked a bunch of... I almost said axed.
They axed
I
a
don't
bunch
say
of
it like
people.
that.
How do you think they got rid of Chris Farley? He was too popular.
No, because in Jersey,
was too-
is it Jersey accent? It's some accent up there where they say axed, like asked. You know what I'm saying? Like I
I have
asked
no
him
idea
to
what
do it.
you're on about.
I asked him to do this. That's a thing that people
that
say.
doesn't sound...
That's a real thing that people
All right,
say.
Mr. Aykroyd, I need you to calm down, okay? It's not
Anyway.
real.
But there's a bunch of cameos, and they're all actually pretty good
What
for
is
the most
it?
part.
It's Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller?
Ben Stiller's not in this
Ben
movie.
Stiller's not in this.
Who's the fake ID dude?
Adam Sandler.
Adam
you.
Sandler.
And I think Adam Sandler's in it because he's boys with Chris Farley, and Chris Farley.
Yeah,
And
is
it's
in
all
it.
and
SNL.
also
Yeah.
in the taxi. Why can't I remember their name?
Oh,
Jim
Drew
Carrey.
Carrey.
Or
No,
Drew
Drew
Carrey.
Carrey.
I said Jim Carrey. Why the fuck is Drew Carrey?
Drew Carrey.
That makes me miss Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I
man.
love that
God,
show.
if you haven't seen Whose Line Is It Anyway, just look up some clips on YouTube.
It's also weirdly, because I remember actually watching a lot of reruns like during class, like in middle school and high school. And teachers are like, "Yeah, Yeet, here's
Here's some Whose Line.
Whose line is it anyway?"
It's so good.
They have it on net or
It
it's
is
on
boomer
YouTube.
humor that I enjoy.
Well, they have it on
Boomer humor for justice.
right. They have it on YouTube. They have the outtakes where they get
break-
too vulgar
yeah.
and they say some. And those are some of my
Oh.
favorite. Those are so good.
I wonder whose line is it anywhere like movie.
I think my favorite by far still though is when Wayne Brady. No, we don't need a movie for that.
Why?
No, we
What would
already
that
have
even be?
stand-up
You
special.
mean like a
We
special?
already have an
Yeah.
hour-long improv special. It's called Middleditch and Schwartz.
And it's a gem. It's a
It's a
beautiful gem.
delight.
But I think my
I'm
favorite.
loose.
I'm loose, baby. But sorry, I just want to say my favorite Who's line, and that's it's Scenes from a Hat, I think, with Wayne Brady, and it's just stars who are the category is stars who are trying to advertise something they really shouldn't, and he just walks up and goes, "Hi, I'm Mike Tyson. Welcome to Encyclopedia Britannica," and I laughed
Wow.
for like 20 minutes the first time I heard it. It was so good. But back to Coneheads. The inferior Whose Line Is It Anyway, if you will. I think it's a reflection of how SNL was kind of just grasping for straws a little bit in the 90s.
Well, see, I think it was, what I argue is I think it was hubris. It was that, like, oh, baby, like, we're really, like, we're pumping out these hits. We got an all-star cast. Let's go into movies, baby. Like, let's jump that, shark. Let's
You think
get
they
into
just
this.
they just took it a little too far?
Yeah.
That is what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, because for me, like, I don't know.
Because then
And
there are the few, like, because then you have, like, the separate ones where, like, once, it's kind of ironic in a way, like, like, once, like, Adam Sandler's, like, near the end of his tenure at SNL, and, like, Fish started moving out, then it was, like, he suddenly just slam dunk in all of his movies, like, boom, hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, looking back on them, not as much of a hit as they should have been. But,
True.
I don't know, I have a soft spot for a lot of old Adam Sandler movies, I really do. Again, it has nothing to do... Was there any other cool cameos in this that we're forgetting? We got Sinbad. We've got...
Sinbad, Adam Sandler, just going down the list.
Sinbad, Adam
well-
Sandler. We got... I mean, Chris Farley was more than just a cameo.
Yeah.
Same with David Spade.
Yeah.
I forgot his name already.
Drew Carey.
Drew Carey.
Did a whole bit about Whose Line Is It Anyway with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think of too many others.
I think there are a bunch of random people who have just been
Who
in
were
a ton
important.
or just been in a ton of stuff,
Yeah, I can believe
but
that.
never got like
Yeah.
the name recognition.
And I know there were a few SNL cast members in there at the time.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense. That makes sense. I don't know. This whole idea behind SNL movies, it just... And there are some that are really good. Like,
Yeah.
Coneheads is a cult classic, so, you got to give it a lot of respect for people liking it. Like we talked about with the
I
boomer
wouldn't say
humor.
it's a cult classic. I would say Wayne's World absolutely is a cult
You don't think
classic.
Coneheads is a cult classic?
No, I do not.
I think you're wrong, and it's just not your cult classic. I'm going to be honest with you.
Barrett's in a cult? What?
I have yet to find a cult around this movie.
I bet you $20 if I Google Coneheads was a great movie, I'll find a fucking thing about it. I'm willing to put 20 bones on the line
I'm
here.
not betting. I don't bet.
I'm gonna do this anyway though, just for the sake of Coneheads is totally
You don't
considered
have 20
a cult
bucks to
classic.
put down.
I do in my pocket.
I don't think it
because
is.
I got paid because I'm not. Well, I'm still poor, but I'm not a little less poor now. Let's see. Oh, I'm just gonna look up. Is Coneheads a cult classic? Let's see.
See, I just feel like that's up for debate. Anyone can deem anything a cult classic.
Wait, did that say a Burton movie?
Is Coneheads a Tim Burton?
Kind. I
movie?
mean, we saw that.
There
scene
was
with the
like
teeth.
it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll see. Does Coneheads actually suck? Is the first thing that
It's
comes
from the
up.
Vice.
Boom. But it's also Vice, so it's like not really given a lot of
That's true.
credibility.
I don't really
there.
like Vice. I'll
Yeah.
give you that. I guess
Right under that is Google considering Coneheads a cult oddity.
cult oddity. I wouldn't call it an oddity. No, I
Yeah,
guess
I
what
don't know
like
either.
this one YouTuber,
It's a space oddity.
Brandon Tennell,
Right.
like he reviews oddities. I actually had to watch his video on Korean Batman. That's an oddity.
Korean Batman's a
Yeah,
oh, it
knockoff
is a
Korean
thing.
Batman.
You're right. I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting by doing this.
So I
It's just
pay up.
no, not really. It's essays about it being a cult classic, but it's one person's point of view.
Exactly. See, that's the I guess that you have. Honestly, we should stop using the term cult classic because it's
'Cause
so
cult
easy.
classic isn't
Anyone can
really a
brand it
thing
as their own
anymore.
stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like the only film I think we could all agree is a cult classic.
I don't
Rocky
think you
Horror
know.
Picture Show. Cult classic. I think we can agree.
What defines a cult
See, I was gonna
classic?
say I'm not saying I disagree with you because I don't. But what I am saying is this opens the conversation of what is the definition of that, right? Like Ethan's saying, that's important because I feel like what it is there is a definitive definition. Wow, that's fucking redundant. Of cult classic, who would have guessed? And we just all don't use it right. I think that's what it is.
Cult classic, according to Google, we
Wow.
all know is perfect. Actually, it's technically Oxford.
Okay.
Something, typically a movie or book, that is popular or fashionable among a particular group or section of society.
That's so
That is
fucking
so
vague.
vague.
Yeah.
That is horseshit.
That's stupid. No, that's not a good.
So
Fuck you,
Marvel
Oxford.
is a cult classic.
What? No,
Because
see,
it's
I don't know. I was always led to believe that a cult classic thing was something that's not so much in the mainstream. You know what I mean? It has its own little audience that people
it
like, its
does-
own little pocket of love,
Rocky
right?
Horror
See, what
Picture is the first one listed, though.
See, what
That
I
makes-
guess for
okay,
me,
I
I
can
think
respect that.
cult classic for me is the idea of like a resurgence in the modern day.
Okay, I can
So I know
understand
Rocky
that.
Horror had that in the 2010s. I guess I have to thank Glee for that, you know. And then eventually that would move on to like them actually
that's-
doing another
that's-
stage show on FX of.
Time out question. Did it hurt just now when you had to thank Glee for something?
Well, you want to know is I
Right.
was actually a big fan of the show, but
He
I
wasn't
stopped
very
when as
gleeful
a
about it.
teenager. But I stopped watching after season 3, or I fell off during season 4 because it was just a lot of like the old cast left, and Corey Monteith died, so it was just weird.
I don't know.
And-
I got through like a season, and then I just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like,
I guess
it
at the
just
end of the
all
day,
felt
my
regurgitated.
issue was the lead, their lead protagonist, like Rachel Berry. I just didn't really like her as a character. Obviously, I never blame actors. For me, it's always the writers. I always want to sink my teeth into the writers.
Well, yeah, it's
and
never
she was just never a likable character. And then at the end of the day, where she like wins a Tony, she gets all of her dreams come true, and I'm like, well, that was horse shit. Why was I here for this?
That's true. I don't know. That's a weird thing too. A lot of people attribute way too much hatred towards an actor for something that, for a lot of stuff in a film or TV show that they have absolutely no control.
Well, it's
over.
like a writer or director.
Whatsoever.
I think is who you should be pointing your fingers at. Like, hey, why'd you
Exactly.
do this? I mean, that's
yeah,
for me right now. Playing through like Spellforce 3, great game. The issue is I'm not mad
Niche
at the voice
games.
actors,
Right?
Niche games with Barrett McClellan. Anyway,
Thank
sorry.
you.
Continue.
but I'm not mad at the voice actors for their performances. I'm mad at the voice directors for not saying like, hey, I want emotion. I want this. A lot of
Right.
like their lines just kind of wander.
It's the Jar Jar Binks thing, right?
Yeah, you
That
can't blame
actor
the voice
has
actor for Jar
never,
Jar,
ever lived that down.
right? It's not his
Right.
fault. Or like when the
Rose.
girl from
Yeah.
Rose from The
Episode
Last
8.
Jedi,
Yeah.
she was getting fucking death threats.
Like, why?
Like she's
you
an
did
actress
this.
who got casted. She didn't write the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You changed the film.
Right,
You bitch.
Right, the
Like,
only
what?
time you ever blame the talent for a situation like that is when you can blatantly see that they're just not acting well. Like, they just did not do a good job, right? When it pulls you out of the suspended disbelief of the
But
film.
even when it pulls
then
me
it's
out,
done.
for me, it's more of, okay, writer, director, casting. How did you mess this up?
I don't know if I see, in that situation, I blame the actor a little bit more, but I blame the director more than anything else. Because it's that director's job to put that person in the mindset to make the scene happen, right? And
I mean, but
sometimes there's going to be a
there's-
disconnect
well,
there,
and
and it's
there-
not going to happen.
Like some people just aren't. I'm not a good actor.
Right.
Right.
Right. Well, see, then that goes back to Barrett's point of
casting
why
agent.
did we cast
Yeah,
that
why did we
motherfucker?
get here?
Well,
Yeah.
see, then the question there is why did the director, after seeing test screenings of these person, go,
Choose that
we would
person,
like them to
yeah.
be on our film or TV show, you know? And if it's a TV show, I mean, that's not even really the director's choice, but that's beside the point, too. Film and television is fucking complicated. For everyone who doesn't know that, the shit you see on the screen, there is an ungodly amount of things that go into
Right.
making that happen.
How many people do you think worked on Coneheads?
On Coneheads? It's from, are you talking to everybody? Like pre-production,
Yeah,
production,
everybody.
post-production? Probably 1,000 people.
But let me ask you this. Would you fuck a woman or a man with a cone head?
Yes.
Okay, glad. All right, thank you.
Right woman? Yeah. Okay. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Is there a person who exists today that if they had a cone head, it's like someone who was extremely attractive, someone you find extremely attractive, that if they had a cone head, you would still find them
Kat
attractive?
Dennings.
There it is. See, that
Yeah.
answers the question then for you, doesn't it? right? Ryan Reynolds, he's got a cone head. He's still charming. He's still hilarious. He's still taking this booty to bed, dude. That's what's happening. And I'm not the gay one. Anyway.
Yeah, Ethan.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Ethan.
Um,
My goal is to make sure that this audience knows that all of us swing every direction.
sure we do. I had a comment about the daughter.
What, that she kind of sucks? Like, they wrote her kind of shitty?
Yeah, she was just kind of generic 90s teen.
She was as
into the
generic-
computer.
Like, she was kind of complicated for all of, like, 2 seconds with the whole sexual issue thing that happened, the tension between Chris Farley's character and her. And then
she forgave him.
She forgives him almost immediately. She's pissed at her dad for telling him that what he did wasn't okay.
It's not okay.
It does, and then has sex with him.
Or weird
Chris,
mind.
with Chris Farley's character. Well, like her version, their alien species version of sex. Again, Indian spirit journey is what Chris Farley goes on.
What does he feel during that?
I don't know, but we see him again, and he's just super sweaty.
So I assume, hopefully, something good.
Then
He
boom.
didn't look
Horny.
happy. I'm gonna be honest with you. He might. I mean, that could have been like orgasmic, I guess, but he looked tired. Which I guess you are at the end of, if you really put work into it. I guess
No,
you
it's
kinda are
because,
tired.
so here's what happened. You want to know why he's so just sweaty and exhausted? Is because offset before that shot was filmed, Dan Aykroyd's just laying out all these facts about Remulac.
Aykroyd roasted.
And he's
And
like,
Chris Farley's just there like, man.
no, Chris
please."
Farley's there like, God, Sandler shouldn't have given me that
Let me
acid right
explain-
before this shot.
Let me explain to you the crystal skull, Farley. Let me explain.
And he's just, and Farley's on acid just seeing the skulls coming at him.
No, then I just like to imagine there's just like one second, like, and then like he just keeps going on about these crystal skulls, and then you just see Steven Spielberg in the background just like writing down, hey, that's a good idea for the crystal skull.
But I'm just picturing Farley, he's just tripping out. And you know how he like just randomly yells? It's just like a brand of his comedy. He's just at the breaks like, can we just do the shot, please? Right now. Okay. Okay, buddy, you alright? You alright? I just want to do the shot. Get Dan out of my face, please. I'm sick of seeing ghosts.
I don't care. Is Remulac real? Remulac is not real. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Get out of my
Dan-
head, Dan.
Dan, we're on a film set. No, we are not. We are on the planet of Remulac.
When will I be sacrificed to the near?
I am ready. I prepared my entire body for this voyage. I saved all the souls that I absorbed in Ghostbusters. Dan, you know, just
Bill Murray
This
will
is
not stop me
perfect.
from achieving my plan this time around.
and then he arrives with the Ghostbusters backpack. I can't let you do this, Dan.
Oh, I would love it more if he just shows up like normally dressed like, okay, Dan, I know I said I would be your lifeline in situations like this, but it's getting to be too much. I'm sick of coming to film sets and trying to explain to you that they're not real. And he's like, but I have a cone head. But I am one of the cone heads. I am the titular cone head. I am.
And then later, you know, he would return in like the early 2000s. Bill, I'm here to save you. This world isn't real. No, Dan, Japan is real. Lost in Translation is a real movie, Dan.
Scarlett's like, who is that guy? Don't worry about
Don't
it. It's
worry about
somebody
it.
I
Would you
used
like
to
Crystal
work
Skull
with.
vodka?
Get out of here. Give me that bottle. Now get out of here.
So speaking of Coneheads, the prosthetic that they used for the Coneheads
That's really good.
was
For
really,
the most
really,
part.
really good.
Except for the birth scene, you could really tell. Like,
Yeah,
you could see
yeah,
a lot
it's a
of one of the
baby.
shots
Are you talking about for the baby, or are you saying for Dan
mom.
Aykroyd and the
for
girl?
the actress.
For
During
mom.
the
For the
birth
mom.
scene, yeah, for the mom.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think also it was because they
just
had
from,
her
like, one of, like,
all
the-
wetted up the whole
It's
time
true.
and freaking out.
It was just one of like
and-
the long shots, like and they were like pulling out, where like you could like easily see like the whole crease around like where you know where hairline starts.
Yeah, I can understand that.
How
but
are we wrapping up Coneheads?
Oh yeah,
well, we
have
gotta
to
wrap this
see
up. So
how we
like,
feel.
so final thoughts. I just don't think this is a movie really targeted towards us as an audience, and I don't think it ever will be. Like I feel like even when I'm in the boomer age, I'm not gonna care about this movie. So I think this is one that's just gonna kind of disappear with time. Like I don't think people are gonna remember it. You know, like 20, 30 years from now.
Like I stated at the beginning, if you want a better time, go watch Third Rock from the Sun.
And you, what do you got to say about it, Ethan?
Would you rather watch Coneheads or Hoodwinked?
Hoodwinked.
I think I just go to bed.
But I think that is even the fact that Barrett said hoodwinked, because you don't like hoodwinked, right?
Well,
I like some of the humor. I think the writing is good.
the animation makes me want to dig my eyes out.
The animation's so bad. It's so
better
nasty.
than the Subway sandwich scarf.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
93. Hoodwink is 2005.
Right, they've
coming
had so
out
much time to
after
Yeah, it's
Toy Story.
After Toy Story, after Shrek.
After, a lot of these,
so many
3D
I mean,
films.
but in the defense of Hoodwinked, I guess, Coneheads came out the same fucking year as Jurassic Park.
That's true.
Yeah.
Although, that still is like...
Yeah,
I bet if we look at the budget between these two movies, we're going to see some very different numbers.
Okay, Barrett, would you rather watch Jurassic Park or Coneheads?
I'd probably just go to bed.
You know,
Reference, Barrett doesn't like Jurassic Park.
I think it's a great thing. Like, I think you get into it when you're a kid. I watched it for the first time at the age of 21, and I remember just sitting there in the theater like, yeah, okay.
I've come to
Dinosaur movie.
I've come to a conclusion. Jurassic Park is that generation's Avatar. Because so much... Let me get there. Because the story's okay, but so much of it, when that movie was new... was
the
how
special effects.
good it looked,
Yeah.
how realistic everything was. And I feel like, and I'm going to argue, not a new argument, but that's what most of Avatar was. The story was just, eh.
Oh my
But the visuals were so fucking good, and still are so fucking good, and that's why it, stayed in theaters for almost a year.
Can I offer you some unobtainium?
Yeah, see?
The name of the actual fucking mineral.
we need to put the core on the
unobtainium.
list.
The Core?
Have you seen The Core?
I don't know what The Core
It
is.
is the shittiest sci-fi movie in the world.
You
We
guys
need
wanna
to add the core.
We'll put it
Do you
on
guys
the
want to
list.
see a sci-fi horror movie on Disney Plus? It's called The Black Hole. From the 1960s. It actually
Really?
is deemed a horror film.
That sounds stupid, I'm not going to lie.
Apparently, the
Maybe we
ending's
put it on.
super disturbing.
I'm excited then now. But anyway, so that's our final thoughts on Coneheads.
Barrett
Honestly,
thinks it's
unless
better
you're
than Hoodwink.
if you
Or it's worse than Hoodwink.
Yeah.
well, there's a lot of things that are worse than Hoodwinked. There's a million things that are better than Hoodwinked though too.
There's a lot of
But
things. That
I think the consensus is if you're like 40 or older, you'd probably enjoy this a lot more than us who are in our 20s. If you're younger than that, don't waste your time. Go watch something else.
The two female viewers that have listened to every single one of our podcasts, thanks Spotify Analytics.
Hey.
You probably won't enjoy Coneheads.
Wait. Are you saying we have two consistent
Yeah, pretty
audience members
much.
who are women? Guys, boys,
I mean-
feminism, am I right? We did it.
They listened
Yeah.
to approximately
show-
3.5 minutes.
I know one of them.
And then
Show-
one of them is a very nice person doing who I think actually genuinely likes our podcast.
We're a show for
that's pretty
women,
cool.
by women,
like
boys.
who we yeah.
Yeah.
I don't say. I mean, I don't know if she wants to be anonymous or not. So,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. So yeah, but she every week she's like, I love the part where this happened, and I'm like, I think you're amazing because we
We
just
do
screwed
appreciate-
around here. So
the
We-
show
we-
for women, by women. Suck it on that.
yeah,
Lena
you
Dunham.
didn't know it. We all
Boom.
have
We're
big
feminists.
meaty vagina.
We got a big meaty clit over here, boys. So what if I have an elongated clitoris and testicles? Why don't you fight me?
All right, I think it's time to wrap this up. Okay, it has been a lovely episode of Jabbermouths. This was episode 6.
Six.
This is episode 6 wrapped up. I am JD.
I'm Ethan.
And I'm a ghost.
No, you're not, Dan. Stop it.
It's me, Dan Aykroyd.
You didn't die,
I'm
Dan.
a spectral anomaly.
You're still alive.
Drink Crystal Skull.
Aykroyd roasted.
We'll see you guys next week.
Not sponsored.